Good evening. Welcome to Old Gray Bricks Messy Monday. Mr. Chris will not be joining us this evening because he is not feeling well, but we have almost a full room anyway because we got a bunch of friends joining us. So we got Steve Puldo, we got Magnus, we got VW, we've got a dark screen where Matthew used to be, we got Dana, we have Nick, and we have Captain Xavier. And in the chats, see Grumpy J and Steve said something in the chat too. So,
and all of that entails.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello, hello, hello.
So, yeah, here we all are. Messy Monday. What's going on with you guys?
I have so much Lego. It's not even funny today. I'm actually building the Red Panda from the brick loot that Meredith built. So this is actually Meredith's first published build. Friend of the show, hanging. I haven't seen her in a long time, but yes. So that's what I'm building today.
Very cool. As I was saying before we went live, I don't have any new Lego right now, but I ordered some today because Amazon has some stuff marked down because Target has stuff marked down and they usually price match or whatever. And so I bought myself the Ferrari F40 and some road plates to put next to my Avengers Tower. But otherwise, I don't have any new Lego this week.
I'm doing a little cheating. My lug is having a draft this week, and they're drafting this set. So I bought 2 of them because I really like the pieces in it. So I am building it right now just because I want to build something. And I'm writing down all the pieces that I really like so I can have like a cheat sheet as I'm drafting. So I have to be like,
That's very smart.
Which piece do I want? And I don't feel pressured to like pick something. So
doing some research.
Yeah. A little scouting.
It's smart.
Wicked smart.
There are some really cool pieces in this set though. There's like a gunmetal color and trans black leaves. And there's some hockey sticks and D-Snot. So I'm getting my first D-Snot pieces. I don't have any D-Snot. So that's pretty cool.
I know when I've been building a few things lately that when I go looking for parts, that set has come up a couple of times of having some newer parts into newer colors. So
I got it like half off on Amazon a while ago. It still might be available. It was like $30.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I like it.
Can anybody identify what Matt is? Oh, okay. I was going to say what Matt is. What we're staring at. He's also muted. So he doesn't
I
know.
think
he broke
they
into
lost
somebody's
power.
house and he's like trying not to get caught.
They lost power, and so we have live phone cam with Matthew right now because I think they were sitting outside, and he's having a conversation with his neighbor or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Which is still impressive, the fact that he's able to stream on his tablet with his cell phone as his internet connection. So,
Are you not able to do that, Tucky Dana?
No, I'm just talking about how that's cool. I mean,
just how far?
Yeah.
What a wonderful modern age we live in.
It is. It is. It's kind of cool. I dig it.
I worked for almost a month off of my cell phone data, like programming and stuff. Because
A month?
because of my internet connection.
Just recently?
During like February, March time frame.
But
I work for a telco, so they gave me extra data to do it. But I went through about 150 gig doing that over the month.
I couldn't. I don't know what I'd be. I don't think I could do it.
Well, if you have to, you have to, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess you have to. But I think, oh man, I would. Whew, that'd be horrible.
Yeah, last month I got one of those emails from Xfinity saying you're going over your 1.2 terabyte allocation for the month because Small Paul was here for the entire month of June.
Wow.
And I think he may have been like streaming YouTube and also on Discord and also downloading games and also whatever. Like he's doing 5 things at once. just burning up the data. So
I don't even, I don't even know if my plan has a limit. I think I have an unlimited plan. I think.
Mine's unlimited, but I think it might throttle after a certain number of.
Yeah.
No, actually, I don't have. Mine's unlimited. Or my internet plan, my cell phone plan is throttled after a while. But
I think both of mine are. Unlimited. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I live where it's Xfinity or slower DSL are the only options. There's no fiber in this area, so no competition really.
That sucks. That's not fun.
Yeah.
Not cool. Not cool.
But anyway, maybe we'll do the old spin around the room. And why don't we say hi to Nick, because we haven't spoken to Nick in a little bit. What's going on, Nick?
Just, making more Lego food, basically. I'm in the process of doing my BLT, and I've got, the mat partially started with my nice little cut base plate. And a new tray, which I'm going to swap this for the blue one, but then this will go with the blue one. And then, even worse, I cut up a red base plate.
Yeah. A red one. A red one. Wow.
It's going to be like an oval basket. I've got some skeleton arms that have the vertical grip, and then it's going to have flex tube going all around, and then red droid arms going to the next level.
So awesome.
I got real comfy with cutting base plate on the show, so I had a bunch of red sitting around, and it's like, well, perfect piece for it.
Got to do what you got to do.
Wow.
Sure do.
I don't know if I could put a red one.
Well, this one had I still have the bit. It's got a little splotch of MEK there where it's messed up anyway. So, not a huge deal, but waiting on Bricklink orders to finish it right now. So,
Yeah.
But that's about it.
I don't know what's worth. It's the fact that you cut the base plate, or that you showed that you had, the MEK on a base plate in the first place. It's like
I didn't get the MEK on the base plate. That one might have come home with me. So
I hate when things magically fall into my car.
Yeah.
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 Lego got me. I built this entire thing, and it said ×2 at the end. It's huge.
Classic blunder.
It happens.
They got me. Got them.
Well, let's see. What's going on with you, Magnus? We haven't heard from you in a minute. I caught you unsuspecting. Are you? I think you might be muted. You can't.
He's muted.
We can't hear you.
Use your words. Use your words.
Yeah, we didn't want to listen to you anyway.
We can put words in your mouth. Lego's awesome.
Yeah,
Yes.
we still don't hear you, unfortunately. Maybe we'll give you a minute to sort out your tech
Did you
situation.
accidentally mute him?
No, he's not muted from this end. Oh, okay, maybe he's gonna reboot it. We'll talk to Captain Xavier while we wait.
Well, I am involved in something at the moment that will no doubt shock you to the point of incredulity. I'm
Here.
army building.
Army building. Would
Yes.
they be Kraken Knights by any chance?
They might.
Oh,
Holy cow. Holy crap.
How?
Is that the gumball? Is that the gumball one?
Only 2 of these are the gumball ones. The rest are heretical.
They're heretics?
So
Yeah, what does that
I
mean?
acquired a great many third-party, shall we say, body parts. And so most of these are blank torsos, either in dark green with teal arms or teal with dark green arms, which is what the official figs are. I have stickers coming from Sticky Bricket, and a lot of them are going to end up having breastplates to cover the fact that their torso is blank. So I've got that helmet, which is a Kraken-y
Nice.
looking helmet.
Oh, that is a cool helmet.
It's
And,
very-
and then a breastplate, so they don't need to have anything on their torso. I also got some that are it's just a generic scaly kind of, but it's not like the standard dragon scale. It's more of a octagonal scale. And then I managed to get the Dragon Master's helmet in dark pearl gray,
Wow.
Oh, nice.
so it matches the other helmets and the breastplates. And then that shield is actually the Greyjoy shield from Game of Thrones,
Mm.
which happens to have a Kraken on it. So, yeah, I will actually be able to get an army without having to pay, $500,000 to get more than 5 of the official ones. Once they are available on the Pick a Brick wall, I will order a bunch, just to have the official ones because they're cool. Though at the moment, I'm actually in the process of assembling Riders of Rohan figs for
Ooh.
another army, because they're coming out with the Horse Knight army, which is a white horse on a blue background. So I figured I'd build a counter, which is white horse on a green background. So I need an army of Rohan. I've got 80 of them to assemble. And then once their blank torsos arrive, I'll be able to expand that 80 into 140 on the cheap, because these guys have really cool armor.
What do you do with your armies?
I wargame with them.
I'd love to talk to you about that because I'm glad to hear that. I want to wargame with figs too.
Yeah, we used one of the recent cons a couple of years ago. We were using Napoleonic figures because me and a friend army built Napoleonic figures to go along with our Napoleonic warships because we had an arms race. It got out of hand. And we used a simplified version of the, I think, Brick Arms game.
Brick Wars, yeah.
You use
Something
brick
like that.
walls. Oh wow. Okay.
An extremely simplified version because those were designed to use like mechs and tanks and stuff, and we were using massed infantry, and it didn't really have a good mechanic for dealing with massed infantry. But we were able to come up with a decent mechanic that made it fun to play, and then we were just sitting there at the con when the people were coming through looking at everything, just wargaming on the side, and got a lot of interest and ran a couple of people through it, and it was a lot of fun. So someday I want to use our big Napoleonic warships to play using Evil Stevie's pirate game, which was a tabletop game designed to use Lego pirate ships. But we're a little worried about the scaling on that too, because the mechanics are built around ships that have a max of like 8 guns. And the smallest we have is 14, and the largest is 104. And I'm not sure if that just means we would be rolling infinite dice. So we'll see.
Problems to have.
So yeah, I have parts coming to build a Griffin army as well. Parts coming to build a Horse Knight army. Parts coming to build a Black Snake army, and I need to look into a 6th army because I build my armies in 6s, and then each army is built in 8s with a minimum of 100 units. So,
And
So
this
you,
is
need,
these
you
are-
definitely need that.
Well, no, these are unwritten rules for your world building that you must adhere to. Otherwise, you just don't feel like you're doing it justice.
correct. Yes, every army must have at least 100 units. And I build my armies in 8s because that's how many fit side by side on a base plate. It also makes it easier to divide. 8
So-
divides easier than 10.
Sorry, I'm not 100% sure the military description. 100 units is 100 characters, or 100 characters or 100 groups of 8.
100 characters. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Sorry, I was taking that as because you were saying each unit is 100 characters and there are groups of 8, and I was like,
that would be
yeah. That's where I was starting to go. Oh my god.
with the addition of these 6 armies, I'm up to 30 different factions, each one over 100 units. Some of them approaching 400 units. I've got over 5,000 figs at this point. It's gotten out of hand.
I don't even know if we're halfway there.
You're well past out of hand.
Yeah.
I'm all I'm thinking is, have you met Rich?
That's a valid point. That is a valid point. We do
I
need
don't
to
know.
get Captain Xavier and Rich in the same room someday. I think that would be really
Sounds
fun.
dangerous. I'm in.
Well, it sounds like Magnus, you got your mic working.
Yeah, it seems to be working. So I got a couple of things to show off real quick. This is a thing that showed up in the mail. It is, I haven't opened it up yet, but it finally arrived, and that's exciting.
Nice.
The box is a little plain, but like I don't care about like how nice the box is. Like I when I open this thing, I'm just going to be building it and then maybe modding it. But one of the cool things about this that you may have missed is that they include the parts so that you could, this was sort of set up as a sort of Black Falcon's army, but I think they have the flags and a few other colors, so you can make it into like a Crusader army if you want to give, if you want the siege tower to be with the other faction. It has a trebuchet and a couple of tents, so it's really like a series of small to medium sized builds, and I think it'll be really fun just to kind of build one or two little things an evening instead of having this giant massive thing that is sort of daunting me. I also have a little mostly finished airplane that thing fell off with a sort of forward sweeping wing. This is my radical reimagining of the G.I. Joe Vector jet from Battle Force 2000, which it has a little similarity to it. I've tried to keep the colors the same, but I'm still in the figuring it out. But once this is finished, then all of my Battle Force 2000 vehicles, which is a subfaction within G.I. Joe, will be completed, and that's exciting. And,
Very cool.
I'll show it off again once it's finished and it's got missiles on it. And then the last thing I want to show you, great minds think alike, army building, wargaming. I want to build, I want to come up with a war game for like early medieval shield wall type battles. So this is my Norman faction. I also have a Viking and a Saxon faction. And I've been doing wargaming in the past on this landscape I put up, and it just takes a very long time to set it up. And I want to come up with a different wargame that you can just put a bunch of figs down on a table and have at it, and you don't need to spend hours setting it up. So I have each of the guys on one of these, and then if I want to have little markers on it to sort of indicate stats, I can do that easily enough without having to keep track of that for each person. And I have started using fleshies instead of yellows for these because I wanted something that looked a little more realistic. And I've discovered that one of the problems with using fleshies is that if you want a bearded face, like for a Viking, for example, those are very expensive. So that's a you can debate what you there are reasons to go for yellows or fleshies, and you can feel how you want to do that about that. But there are certain kinds of faces that are less prevalent in certain styles. And the other thing that happened that's completely non-Lego related is that the new Bruce Springsteen box set came out, and this is the book that comes with it. And I have a bunch of non-Lego related fun that I'm immersing myself in, and that's 7 albums that came out in one big box set. So that's taking care of my non-Lego needs.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's what I've been up to.
Very good. And Matthew is still, I don't know. And but let's talk to let's go north of the border and talk to Jeff. What's going on, Jeff?
I would say not much, but things are happening. I didn't show this last week. I forgot. But something nice about getting like a plastic bag full of, just base plates without wrappers and stuff from Lego. That was my VIP points order, or the double points order that I made. I got 10 of those. And today I received in the mail, I received some Classic Space torsos. One of these is a sticker. You can probably figure out which one it is. So because we don't have helmets or air tanks, these are my alien guys for now.
Nice.
Which I've kind of been doing whenever there's a faction without that. So, but yeah. And then the lift here is mostly working. I just put the forklift on it. Let me turn it a little bit more. I just put the forklift on it and realized that the forklift actually might. Well, it's mostly working if it actually ran. Apparently it's too heavy, so let's just try this. Yeah. I haven't geared it properly yet, but it's going. Still needs some work, obviously, because I need to gear it, but
It looks
and I
really
need to-
smooth.
yeah, smooth this. It doesn't sound smooth. I don't know if you can hear it grinding. Well, not grinding, but I've got a clutch gear right off the engine. And it looks like that clutch gear is slipping because of the tension on it already. So I need to gear it a bit better, but that's a future Jeff problem. But I worked Sunday morning for 4 hours, and my work was basically, yes, everything's okay. You can start doing your work and checking something at the end of it. So I was awake for 4 hours, not actually having to do much work. So I rebuilt the lift for the third time in the past couple of weeks. So,
You kind of had a my work day there.
yeah, well, every 3 or 4 months we have a Sunday morning like that. So, fun stuff. But that's about it for me.
Very good. It looks like Matthew is wandering around the yard.
Yeah, can you hear me?
So
It's
Yeah,
like,
you can.
yeah,
have you
Okay,
seen
yep.
Grandpa?
So, 20 minutes before the show, we had a power outage on my street, and so we ate dinner on the deck, and it's pretty dark in the house. So I came out here, and the signal strength is not great. But so I was going to show folks the Flago, the fake Lego set that I was building, but that's in the house. But I will show you some other bricks. So I built this brick wall, created this flower bed out front, and planted one end of it and planted the other. And this was
Sir,
after
that is not an interlocking brick system.
I was just gonna say,
it's not system, but I like the way it turned out. So
It's
I
not
experimented
system.
with this with doing this on the mailbox 2 summers ago.
pretty
So that's my
rudimentary technique there. I don't see any
Yeah.
set work or anything.
there's not I was going to let it settle before I go and apply any epoxies or anything. So but
At least you stitched it.
I did go by the Lego store today and got some more things off the pick-a-brick wall. Had some nougat bricks and the pale yellow color and
You get
dark blue 2x4 bricks. So I stacked a box and filled that up. But yeah, I guess next week I'll show you my fake Lego.
Can't wait.
You can show us your fun hole next week.
Whoa!
hello.
It's definitely a gay friendly name for that company, Fun Hole. I'm sad that they're changing it to Loomy Bricks, just not nearly as evocative as Fun
Which
Hole.
I think they've gone live with the new name already. I think I
Think
saw
so.
it today.
Fun
Sorry, did you say Looney Bricks as in Looney Tunes?
That's the name
Loomy,
of
like
the Lego
luminous, because they
set.
come with
Looney.
like
Okay,
kids.
fair enough.
LUMI bricks, Loomy Bricks. Are you rocking on?
That's right.
Oh,
Gotta get the
yes.
lasers going.
Rock on, Garth.
Illuminating
Party on, Garth.
lasers. Yeah, all that.
Well, that brings us around to Mr. Lasers. You said you had a pile of Lego going on.
I do. I for saying that earlier in the year I was on a very much of a Lego dry spell for a long time. I've been ramping up within the last few weeks. I think it has a little bit to do with actually building. For some reason, I think that kind of just starts fueling that when you start building, you start doing more and ordering more. I have now gotten I think it was my 4th Billund pick-a-brick order along with at least 3 other bestsellers, maybe 4. I think there's maybe even 4 and 4. So this is the big bag of Pick-a-Brick that I've gotten just within the last 2 weeks from a couple of different orders. A very small Bricklink order. Everything else has been Lego. Everything I've been wanting to get, Lego's had either on bestsellers or the parts are so new for what I was looking for, I had to get them from Billund. And again, the parts I received today, I ordered on the 20th. It was only 11 business days and it showed up. Now, granted, it was 18 days because there were 3 weekends and a holiday in there, but still 11 business days from Billund. Bricklink is going to start. I mean, I think we've already seen this, that Bricklink sellers are already hurting because Lego has completely revamped their Pick-a-Brick system, where now it's just easier to get parts straight from Lego, and it's cheaper, and they're brand new. And I mean, I've had some Bricklink sellers take a month to get me parts. I just might as well go ahead and order from Lego if it's new parts. I think, unless it's an old part that has been out of production for 5 years, that's the only time I'm finding myself needing to order off of Bricklink, which is kind of funny, kind of strange. But again, you probably still can get certain. Like I did do one Bricklink order because I needed just a few pieces in a specific color for pink and green, and it wound up just being just as easy because there was a seller in Virginia who I order from all the time anyway, and they had enough of what I wanted. So I said, $5 for shipping, no big deal. But lots of parts coming in. That being said, I did get in the parts to build, and I talked about this on my stream yesterday. I made a little piggy. It's kind of hard to see. He's the light pink. He's got a little piggy tail. Go along with my critters.
It's too bad that they don't have some kind of a curly option for the tail.
That would be cool. I did get in parts to because you guys, as you know, Simon Liu, we're a big fan of Simon Liu. So I did a green frog for him, but now I've since added a tan frog and also a white frog, and eventually I will add a red frog. There's a piece that the piece to build these that comes in red came in the new Mario Kart, the big Mario Kart, and it comes with one. I'm like, yeah, I'll wait and get those in 6 months when they show up on Pick-a-Brick. And then I also got in the parts, and I'm really excited about this one. This one turned out really, really cool. I'm really happy with this one. I got this alligator.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
I dig the alligator. Little spines on the back. He
I love the bracket for the nose.
And he is entirely snot. Everything's upside down. So the way to get these eyes to work, I had to build him completely upside down. Loved this. Turned out great. And then someone was joking that I make a platypus. And if I was going to make a platypus, I had to make a Perry. So I have 2 different platypus.
Perry the platypus.
Perry the platypus.
Nice, Dana.
And then I did some building. As you can see, I built the Star Wars name placard. I don't think Chris gave us enough of an enthusiasm about that set. It's awesome. It was a really fun building experience. Granted, it's repetitive because you're doing both sides at the same time, but I want to now build some more things using that, not just Star Trek or Star Wars. I want to do like classic space, Trevor's bricking, do my name. I think it gives a lot of credit to what you can do with bricks to do that. So I think that's really, really fun. I had fun doing that. I also picked up this on clearance. As somebody was mentioning, Mark, you mentioned Target. Yeah, there's tons of stuff on 30% off and more at Target. So I picked up one of these, which actually, the mechanism for it's got a wheel mechanism, which is all right. It's got this section on top that you can crank out, that you're supposed to be able to grab one of these container things. But it's stupid. It doesn't really work. I think that's a really poor play feature in general. But the cool play feature is this one. There's a section in back you spin, and it changes the angle on this thing to raise the rover up, which I think is pretty cool. And these tires are awesome. I think all of these, like this, the Technic space sets with the fun classic space logo, they're all on clearance. I think the bigger flyer one, I think it was down to $100 or something like that. I was like, I'll probably go back and get it. But that was cool. I built over on the 4th of July. I built the rest of the sushi sets. Again, parts in here and things that Lego just doesn't have that would be cool if they did. I know, Nick, you build a lot of food stuff.
I really want the hot dog.
Yeah, all these food things are just fantastic. I think Lego's doing themselves a disservice by not doing creator food. That would be a really cool line for them to do. Also, in my pick-a-brick stuff, I got in last week. I got in some of the sand red or the orangish red, and then today I got some other white pieces I need to finally bring my Friendship Timber set from last year. I'm going to swap out all these regular orange pieces for the reddish orange so that it actually fits the correct Friendstron color scheme. Swap out the gray thrusters here to white, and even these side pieces. I'm going to use the Chinese bowls for the thrusters instead of the paint pails. So this will finally get its true color scheme corrected here soon. And then, like I said, I'm building Meredith's Red Panda. And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to get around to building Simon's Locust build that he did. So, sorry for that.
Okay, so I've been using Google Meet for far too long because every time you're showing something, I'm looking for like the thumbs up icon to click so it can go across the screen.
So we can see thumbs. I think
Yeah.
I can do this. Will this work? There we go. I'll do thumbs up. There we go.
I believe you can also do a single thumbs up.
Can you do a single?
I think so.
Even better.
What happens if you put a thumbs down? Does someone die?
Does the same thing. Yep.
Who does?
So you're thinking about doing a thumbs down? I don't get that.
Okay.
It's like
Well,
a soft
obviously, when
cloud.
it's 2 thumbs down.
Steve, you've always got to either overthink it or underthink it. There's no happy medium for you, is there?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's an iPhone thing, right?
Oh no, it's a Mac thing.
Well, I mean,
Yep.
I'm on my iPhone, but I don't seem to have.
No,
the,
you got to be. Well, I don't think it'll work on our phones. I think you've got to be on iOS 17. I think
Oh.
for the or
'Cause-
what is it? Hang on.
Because I actually did a video conference with my psychologist and I did the thumbs up and it worked. And she's like, "What was that?" And I was like, "I don't know." It's
Yeah.
just-
You tell me you're the psychiatrist.
I'm on Sequoia. I'm on Sequoia.
Are you seeing that thumb too? You know?
I don't know. Maybe it does work on your phone. I don't know. I don't really do FaceTime on my phone, so maybe that would be the case.
But it
Maybe you gotta be on
works when
FaceTime.
What is
don't-
this?
Maybe
supposed to be
maybe
doing?
StreamYard is different or something.
Yeah.
Is this actually an action on for the Macs or because Dana or Matt keeps doing this and I'm like, what are you expecting to happen?
explosions.
Okay,
No, you got-
well,
Because I did
You gotta do
this and it got
for explosion.
fireworks.
Oh, no, this is lasers. 2 thumbs up is for explosions, and then of course there's the. Does it do the
we should get Matt to try 2 thumbs up so he
Right
drops his phone.
There we go.
Well, yeah, I
Well-
have to hold the phone with one hand, so there's that.
Does it work with the raptor claw heart that the kids do nowadays? Does that
Oh,
work?
let's see.
No, it doesn't.
Mm,
Mm.
its AI isn't smart enough to realize that it's new and hip.
I think you can
Let's
do
just keep on
deuces.
pretending
I
that
think
we can see
doesn't
it, Matt
There you
can.
go. Yay!
Oh, there we
I guess I need to get the new iPhone.
Yeah, you do.
Oh wait, I forgot one other thing. One of the
Oh.
other pick-a-brick pieces I got in was the old classic claw arm or the robot arms from Classic Space, but in red. So I was
Ooh.
able to
What?
use the body that I got from John Palmer when I got one of his little insect droids, and was able to build a Classic Space red robot. All original parts, because this headpiece, the Travis brick in red, only came in one set. It came
Hold
in
it closer.
a advent calendar from a couple years ago.
Hold it closer to the mic, the camera.
Hold it. There we go.
That's better.
Very excited. because that was during my with the blue version. That was my go-to robot because that was the set that I got when I was a kid that had a robot in it. So this was in blue. That was my dude.
Yeah, I think the blue one came with the Gamma 5 Lasercraft, didn't it? Because I have
blue
the
one came in
same.
Gamma 5. Yep. And then the black one came in the other set that was in that theme that year.
Was that the light and sound, the bigger light and sound ship?
No. That one came with one of the squatty robots. It was
Didn't the black one come in the solar power transport, whatever it was?
No. It also had the funky one with the hips on it, I think.
Oh, okay.
It came in the one of the gray ones with the green cockpit. It had the black. I can't remember what it's called. It had like the black panels that had like fins on them.
Yep, the concave.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Probably no one else does. So.
I know what you're talking about. I'm gonna go look because I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, that sounds like the Gamma 5 Lasercraft. That's what the blue one came with.
But I think the other one was very similar. They were all very similar to each other.
Does Brickset show the robots? I think it does.
It does if you go to figures or
3 hours later.
Yeah, no, seriously. Dead air.
There's light bluish gray Fleebnorks in the set.
What?
What? Gotta like it. The Gamma 5, the blue one came in the Gamma 5 Lasercraft, and the black one came in the FX Star Patrol. No, that's not even that black one.
No, because the FX Star Patroller had the hinge brick for the hips.
Yeah, similar to the new Galaxy Sport. I thought there was a black one.
There was. I remember it. But I'm looking through.
All right. I'm gonna go looking here.
Dana's gonna go off on his new dog bone.
Yep.
Quest.
You guys talk amongst yourself while I hunt this down.
Well, we've done the spin around the room, so now it's just kind of like,
Kinda.
talk amongst yourselves.
I got some new artwork for my room. So I've been working on my new Lego room.
Just as long as you don't tell us about your blinds.
Yeah. Blinds, let me tell you.
No. That wasn't an invitation.
This is my new. I got a couple new pieces of artwork. I got this guy.
Nice.
And hold on.
Maybe we just built that robot in black, Dana, when we were younger.
It's exactly what we did. There was no actual black one. Ooh, that's a nice Spider-Verse. I dig that.
So this guy is going up on that. Oh, you can't see it. There's a door that has a window.
No.
Right there. That's a door. And we put new flooring in this room, and the flooring goes above that door. So we can't really open up the door anymore. So now it's just it's the wall. It's a wall with a doorknob and a window. So one of those posters is going over that window.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, before show, Steve was saying that he didn't think that I liked Marvel and whatnot, and I was like,
I mean, all you guys
Excuse
talk
me,
about
sir.
is space. All you guys talk about is space. So sorry.
yeah, but I'm a broad spectrum nerd. I like all of the nerdy stuff.
It's true.
Comic books, D&D, like all the nerdy stuff.
Well, now I know.
Except Doctor Who. I never got into Doctor Who.
I, however, do. I probably have a few notches on my belt more so than Mark, but he has some different notches that I don't explore as much. So,
is this going to turn into a notch measuring contest?
Yeah, I think that Mark and I can probably go toe to toe on most of our nerdiness. Because when I went to Mark's house, just walking through his basement a little bit, I was like, oh yeah. He tends to go a little more Transformer and a little more.
I
do have some
toys than I do, but
how long have I been on the show? And I don't think, besides Galactus, I don't think you've ever said anything Marvel related since I've known you.
me or Mark?
Mark.
I'm pretty sure that I was working on Avengers Tower over the course of several shows because I know I complained about how many windows I had to stack when I was working on that thing.
I remember that.
So many windows.
Exactly. So many windows. So many windows.
Speaking of Transformers, because Dana mentioned Transformers,
Yeah.
July 10th, a couple of days from now, Lego's going to announce something secretive.
It might sound like a wave of the ocean or something, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think that while I'm not I did have some Transformers when I was a kid. Blue Streak was my favorite. I like the Countach brothers. They were my other ones that I really liked. But I never had the cassette player, but I did have Ravage and one of the birds.
He was my favorite.
Yeah, so I think that might be the one of those that I will get.
Talking about this guy.
Yeah, talking about that guy. Yeah.
Soundwave was one of the only actual Transformers I owned. I had the Constructicons as well, but I know Soundwave was like, my family were like, oh, here's a Transformer. Thanks for the GoBot, Mom.
Yeah. That looks awesome.
So one of the Masterpiece figures I actually kept is Diaclone Color Blue Streak.
That's awesome.
Because back in the day, I had you remember way back when we had the little fold out catalog that you would get when you buy the toy.
Oh yeah.
It had Blue Streak in this blue and silver color scheme, but the actual release toy was all silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's because they used the original Diaclone toy for the photo in the catalog, and then in production they changed it to all silver.
Yep.
So as an homage to that, they released a Masterpiece figure in these colors. So it's one of the ones that I kept. I sold most of my Masterpiece figures off, but I kept this one.
Yeah.
It's more attractive in blue.
Yeah, it is. It is much more.
But the thing that I never had the cassette player until very recently. But the thing I always thought would have been cool when I was a kid, and I still believe this now, is if they did it with cassettes that were the same size as like normal cassettes.
That would have been cool.
And I don't know if there's any chance that like there might be some version of that at some point coming out made by someone, but you could that'd be pretty cool. Just saying.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
And for the record, Matt is truly in the dark right now.
Now he is completely in dark. He's probably losing power.
But he was sitting by a window a few moments ago, and I don't think nighttime comes very quickly in Georgia.
No, it's not that bad. No, it won't get dark here till almost.
I was
9:30.
checking another.
You're checking.
I was checking another app, but I see I'm swirling on the screen. I don't know if you can hear me on my phone.
We hear you, but we don't see you.
I'm present, if not visually, orally.
Not touching that one.
So while Minifig Collector is mentioning that we can make the that droid in black and white and old gray, along with the blue, of course, and then now with the red. You can also almost make it, I think, in magenta now. Believe it or not, I don't know if they have the Travis brick for the magenta, but they have the body and the arms in magenta. I think it's only missing the Travis brick in magenta, if I'm not mistaken, because I did get the body and the arms already.
Sorry, Dana, do you actually have in your head which are robot arms are actually available in those colors? Like, how did you pull that off? Because you were looking at red, I'm guessing, or
well, I saw that the red showed up. I forget how I found that out, but it showed up in some set.
Okay.
And so I knew that because I had the body from John Palmer, and then I had the Travis brick from the Porg Christmas Porg, I knew I could build it. So I was like, I gotta get these arms. But as far as I don't remember, let's see.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up that robot arm right now. So.
Oh boy.
I'm having to, instead of like going through and doing this the correct way, I'm going about the long way.
Going through arm by arm by arm?
Well, no, I was on Brick Set, so now I had to go to Brick Link, and now I'm in Brick Link. And so That arm comes in white, light bluish gray, light gray, dark bluish gray, black, red, brown, yellow, and of course blue. It doesn't come. I thought it came in magenta. Why am I thinking it came in magenta? Maybe it's just the body comes in magenta. That could be.
Oh, the red's in the F40. Huh.
Yeah.
So, Mark, you can build a red one soon, too.
Yeah, I have a couple of Palmer's bots here as
Oh
well.
yeah. So you got yourself a red bot.
I
Do you
do.
remember John Palmer's build a bot kit that he would take with him to conventions, like as he's driving?
Yeah.
He just had like a plain old box of all the different parts, and
Yeah, he sold a few of those. He made a few for that he sold to a few people. I think Chris might have one still.
Yeah, I think he still. When he was at Atlanta BrickCon, I think he had one or two, and they had been prized out or given out at the show. I think he had just a few left, and then I think some of the Easter egg ones that he was giving out, those were still from before when he just did them. It was like 10 years ago, I think, when he said he had been building them, and he still had them, and so he brought them with him and was giving little things away. So
I have the
minifig collector. I have at least a gallon bag or more of eyeballs. I'm not even kidding.
I have one of the John Palmer
Ooh,
M-Wing.
that's cool.
I think I still have I still have it in there.
Nice.
I miss
Man,
the
I'm at the legend. It's funny. John reminds me of in the comic book community, there were people who started doing like sketchbooks and ash cans and stuff like that long before people even thought about doing it, and it became like its own like little subreddit through the comic book industry for decades. And I kind of feel like John Palmer is like that same type of creativity that's like coming up with things to do long before anybody else was ever thinking about them. So.
Well, that would fit with his ability to build curves before we had curved parts.
Yeah. Crazy builder. What's up, Ryan? I think I saw Fall Equinox in there. We got Axoplate, Minifig Collector, Stever, Grumpy J. Who else we got in here? I think that might be everybody. Dark Jedi. Katie. Hello. Welcome to the show. If we're probably winding down here in another 10 minutes or so. Talk amongst yourselves and your chit chat.
I think since the freezer has
Blinds
no
are
power,
expensive.
No.
No,
That
not the
was
blinds.
Something else. Not that.
Matt should open his blinds, but he's
they are open. Since we have no power in the freezer, I feel like it's my duty to eat the Italian ice before it goes bad.
Do you even know why you're out of power?
The host street has an outage. We got a text from Georgia Power saying it should be back supposedly in 25 more minutes.
Supposedly.
just in time for the chat to finish.
Allegedly.
That's kind of weird to have lost power this time of day.
Yeah, no storm.
Yeah.
Is it extremely hot there or anything? Like,
Not any more so than normal.
okay.
It's not
it
like
got up to 90,
Drive into a
94, but
transformer.
that's not extreme here.
No, yeah.
I will say the dam behind our house is under construction, but typically they've given us advance notice for anything that's going to like impact us. They would be like, hey, we turn the power off for 15 minutes. And we didn't get a message like that. So I think something just broke.
Typically, things like that don't just break. It usually requires somebody breaking it.
Yeah.
Well, I will say that we are literally 2 intersections from the depot where all of the Georgia Power electrical repair trucks sit. So they don't have to go far if something broke.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I was sitting here at about, 9 o'clock at night, And out from outside, I heard a very loud, cartoonish sounding, bzzz, and then the power went out for 2 hours. It's like,
That's not good.
so, yeah, I don't know if there was like a big electrical arc on the power lines. I don't know.
I drove home once through a pretty intense electrical storm, and one of the transformers literally exploded, and there's a shower of, it looked like a sparkler went off inside of it. And I was like, oh, it's just like the movies. I thought the movies were exaggerating, but it actually was quite beautiful.
How fast were you driving?
Pretty
88
slow.
miles per hour.
88 or something?
No, these were all back roads. I was probably doing about 40, 45. These are just suburban local.
Yeah,
We really
Yeah.
don't drive like Mark.
It wa-
Nice.
Back roads,
why do I-
40 miles
why
an
do I get-
hour. What are you? Some sort of
Why do I get
Slow down,
hassled
Mark.
for
Your
that?
car looks fast.
Well, Matt had to stick his foot out to touch each individual county as he was driving through.
It's true.
valid point.
True.
Is that the rule? You have to stick your foot on the land for it to count?
No, I go with the NFL. You have to break the plane, just like the football. I don't have to touch the ball down like in rugby. It just has to enter the airspace on the ground. I don't count flying overhead.
Okay.
Well,
Um,
it's been a minute since we've talked about sports ball.
Tonight, or starting after midnight, is Insider Day to match with Lego's Prime Days. And in the UK, Brickset has an article saying that in the UK, there's already sets that are 25% off. The Blacktron Renegade is 20% off. And there's a whole bunch of sets that are like double VIP points as well. So something to look
Wow, they're
forward
cutting their profit margin in half for us. It's so special.
well, for Amazon, or to compete with them, I guess, right? So
I wonder
Which is
where
sad when you
Amazon
stop
gets
and
their
think about the
Lego.
fact that they can actually mark it down that much, meaning that they could actually have it priced that at all the time. But
when
The employee price was 50% of retail when I worked there, so that tells you.
when Janie, one of my friends, used to work at a Lego retailer, not Lego corporate type store, but just a Lego store, and their purchase price was 50% of MSRP.
Yep.
And basically, if they were to return the damaged box, they would basically get the same amount back. So they tended to sell her the damaged boxes for the same price because it was better to do that than to return it and do all the paperwork. So yeah, 50%. I don't know if obviously the Lego store probably has a lower margin than that, being that they don't have to buy it from themselves, or they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, where does Amazon get all their Lego from? I mean,
Probably Lego. Well, they would have to. Everybody gets their Lego from Lego.
that's where the whole idea of competing with Lego is kind of funny.
yeah, it's like
You can buy it from our website, or you can buy it from a different website.
Yeah, but it usually goes 20% off on Amazon long before it does on the Lego
Yeah.
website.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
I have to say that the stuff that's gone on sale, at least here in Canada so far, is like meh. It's, not the best stuff.
Well, last Prime Day, I liked Canada sale items more than I liked the U.S. ones.
Well, I don't know what to say to that.
I don't know how much more we're going to see with the Prime sales, given that there was already a bunch of stuff marked down to compete with the Target markdowns. Who knows?
I don't think since like COVID has the Prime sales been anything worthwhile.
Not really.
Welcome to Canada,
Yeah.
but that was pre-COVID as well.
Yeah,
Where's
any
the
store
Bruce
sales.
song?
Yeah, but you have free healthcare, so it's all good.
This is true.
Welcome to Canada.
Amazon has Lego pre-orders now.
that's funny.
Yeah, they've got a pre-order this set for August releases. Weird.
That's wild.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
Not that I'm on their website at all right now.
Why would you be? You're supposed to be talking to us. Why would you be?
You can,
Why would I be shopping for Lego while being in the Lego chat?
Now, if Amazon Canada starts offering beaver bucks rebates, then we'll know that it's a real competitive situation.
We get our beavers for free.
Oh,
Wait, sorry, wait. Hold on. Maybe I misunderstood you.
Is that
I'm
part
actually
of
going
the
to leave that one
healthcare?
alone. I'm going to leave that one alone.
Oh,
I'm gonna let you have
doctor.
that one. I'm going to let you have that one.
I don't know what you mean. Just did it.
Of course you don't. Of course you don't.
Yeah.
I know.
That's a good Chris impersonation.
Ha ha ha
the high pitched nurse laugh. It's funny, but I'm worried. I'm slightly uncomfortable.
Slightly uncomfortable.
You have to add the. I don't know what that means.
Yes. Even though we know he has at least one child, so we know he knows what it means. But
He also has one of something else too, but he's not here to.
that's true. He's not
Yeah.
here to define that. So
Oh boy.
And so far, he has
Magnus?
been watching. So
Yeah.
Well,
Magnus,
he's
are you-
probably
are you-
passed out. So I mean, he's got COVID, so he's probably just like sleeping it all off.
Hey, that was a state secret. I can't believe you just said that.
He posted it on Instagram.
I was gonna say, and Facebook.
Well, on Facebook.
I think he even put it on Threads. I mean, come on, seriously.
People use Threads.
yeah, I was gonna say, what's Threads?
Actually, I get most of my my political satire through Threads. So, Red Panda.
Magnus, you getting excited about Brick World? I mean, Brick
Big
Fair?
Fair. Yeah, that's less
at
than a
that.
month away now. I have
Look at that face.
I've
Look at how you did that
been given a table spot. I'm doing a big medieval style layout using 3 tables. Usually, in the past, I've done kind of in maybe 4 tables, 2 by 2, or something like that. But this time, I'm doing sort of 3 tables, sort of 3 deep, if that makes sense. So it'll be more
Mhm.
like a square and less like a rectangle. And I think at least a quarter of the entire surface will be sort of water with some boats on it, so it shouldn't be
Nice.
too difficult to set up. But it'll take a little while, and I have my 2 Black Falcons castles and my new Wolfpack tower and some ships, and I think I'll be able to fill it out quite nicely. And hope to do a bit of wargaming too, but I don't know if I'll do that on there or just on a separate table. But yeah.
Cool.
I'm glad
that's
to hear that
impressive.
there's water. Otherwise, Jeff Van Winnen might have sued you for copyright infringement for having a perfectly square castle layout. So
But don't worry, he only has the second best castle in Atlanta. So
that's right.
I didn't use enough. I didn't expose enough Duplo. Because I did use a lot of Duplo in my castle, but I didn't expose it to
you didn't
everyone
expose
else.
it. You didn't have that. You didn't have the behind the scenes wow factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Who's
the-
got the best one?
You were too polished. You were too
Yeah.
polished. I mean,
That's a good way of saying it.
you know, you never go full retard. That's what I'm saying. Too polished.
Hey Jeff, have you
Well,
made
Jeff-
it to Rich's house in any of your visits to Atlanta?
No, not yet. Because he's over by Atlanta Brickco, right?
Yeah.
So he's like the exact opposite, and I usually don't have enough time setting up the castle to wander. But if the next time I'm able to go, I probably will not bring the castle. And at that point, then maybe I'll go down to Atlanta Brick Cove side, and I'd say go visit
You
Rich. He'd probably be at the convention. So
You
Yeah,
would
but he
enjoy
probably
it,
goes
though.
home at night, so you could just drive down there and see him. Well, you know, maybe you could spend
You
the night
could-
at Richard's house and he'll let you sleep in the castle room.
There you go.
what were you going to say, Matt?
I think it would be worth a trip for you.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely want to go, but yeah,
But realistically, if you're going to go to Atlanta Brick Company, you should at least go on your way. I mean, I know it sounds reverse logic, but you should go on your way home
yeah,
because then you can spend one of your gift cards that you'll get instead of having to give the gift card to me and me giving you $100.
that could be true. That's assuming I win something. I haven't won anything since. Okay, I looked over at like 2003, 2004, or 2023, 2024. I didn't win anything this year, so
That's right, because you were the
Yeah.
second best castle.
I was the second, but yeah. Well, my castle won in 2024. So
Which actually technically disqualifies you from winning it in 2025. So there you go.
and my Mosaic one in 2023.
Well, if you go to
was
Atlanta
best
Brick-
artwork. What was that, Matt?
If you go to Atlanta Brick Company, he only lives about 15 minutes away.
Yeah,
I don't even think he's 15 minutes away. I think it's like more like 5 or 10.
I think he probably lives in their backyard.
Pretty close.
It's not far.
He's got like one of those vacuum tubes where they just pass Lego to him.
He's got one of those from Germany to his house.
Yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
probably more accurate.
That's what I need to talk to him about versus Atlanta Brick Co. for sure.
Yeah.
I need to know all the tips and tricks because I'll be there in September. So
Oh, that's right. We expect a full on hour report when you come back from that with slides and slideshow.
only if I can get the thumbs up icons to work on StreamYard.
Yeah, that's right, because we got to be able to.
Not those.
I wonder if I do it on this side. Does it flip sides?
We can't see because of the logo.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, there we go. Yeah, depending on which side you do it, it does it on the other side. So, Apple AI coming through. What are you gonna do? Gotta love it. Too funny.
Well, we've just squeaked past 9 o'clock, and it kind of feels like the conversation is kind of dwindling. So I think it's an opportune time to kind of land the plane, as it were. But
Well, as Axoplate said at 8:57, time to end. It's getting too silly.
but
Challenge
thanks
accepted.
thanks to all you guys for joining us tonight, and thanks to everybody in the chat. And sorry, excuse me.
It's getting choked up.
And as Chris would say, be awesome and build awesome, and be kind to your neighbor. And everybody have a good week, and we'll see you next week.
Good, everybody.
Good night.